South America's green anaconda. This is one of the most massive snakes on Earth. It weighs over 200 pounds and measures close to 20 feet long. To support this bulk, it spends almost all of its time in and around water. Here, it can use stealth to its advantage.
Great white sharks are known as the largest predator in the sea. Females are generally grander than males. Male great white sharks are on average 3.4 to 4.8 meters long, while females are 4.6 to 4.9 meters long. Adults of this species can generally weigh 522 to 771 kilograms. Great white sharks belong in the kingdom Animalia because they are multicellular organisms. They are heterotrophic, meaning that they ingest and digest food. Great white sharks have a cylindrical-shaped body and have a two-tone color to it that helps them camouflage. It helps them camouflage because the top side, or the dorsal side, is darker compared to the bottom of the shark, which helps them blend into the darkness of the ocean when viewed from above the water. Anatomical characteristics.
Great white sharks are the most dangerous creatures under the ocean. They are the most oldest and adaptable on Earth, since their fossils have been dated back to 16 million years ago.
They have very sharp teeth, which means they can severely injure their victim even with only one bite. These sharks have several rows that can hold up to approximately 300 serrated teeth in their mouth at one time. Great whites can lose up to 1,000 teeth in a lifespan. When the shark bites, it shakes its head side to side, helping the teeth saw off large chunks of flesh. Sharks also breathe through gills and not their lungs. They also don't have any bones in their bodies, unlike other fish. They belong in the phylum Chordate because they have a dorsal hollow nerve cord. This is made up of the outermost layer of cells, tissues of an embryo forming a hollow tube, making the dorsal nerve cord into the central nervous system, composed of the brain and spinal cord. A notochord, which is a flexible rod made of something similar to cartilage that supports the body in Allium-Bryonic chordata animal, situated behind anus tip, and pharyngeal or pharynx, which is the gill slits. These are all the characteristics required to categorize as phylum Chordate. Behavioral characteristics. The great white shark's behavior and social structure is complicated and not well understood. For example, in waters in Africa, they have a dominance hierarchy. Females dominate males. Larger sharks dominate smaller sharks, and resident sharks dominate newcomer sharks. But generally, they are known as independent and hunt their prey separately. They are very curious, intelligent, and socializing animals.
I'm half shark and half Peter. Don't come near me. I will eat you.
Peter, will you knock that off? It's getting annoying.
All right, fine. I'm gonna go scare some people.
Nobody will buy it. There are no sharks out here.
Lots of people swimming up there. I could pig out if I wanted to, but I'm watching my weight because I don't want to spend the 4th of July alone again. Plus, I ate a dog yesterday and now I got a bone stuck in my anus.
Great white sharks, like other sharks, have an extra sense that lets them detect electromagnetic fields by movement of biotic animals. Great whites are sensitive to this so that they can detect variations of half a billionth of a volt. They can even sense an immobile creature by their heartbeat and a living being in the ocean around 12 kilometers away. This is called the ampulle of Lorenzini. Sense of smell. Ability to smell a single drop of blood in 100 liters of water and can smell blood up to 5 kilometers away.
Dory!
Ow!
Are you okay?
Ow, ow,
I'm
ow.
so sorry.
You really clocked me there. You know I'm bleeding?
Oh.
Ow, ow, ow.
Dory, are you okay? Oh, that's good. Intervention! Just a bite! So you hold it together, mate! Remember, boys, fish are friends, not food! Food! I'm having fish tonight!
We live in a world full of electric fields. Animals, plants, even the earth itself creates them, but only a handful of creatures can actually sense them. Sharks, also rays and skates, a whole group, animals called elasmorex, can actually detect electricity. Maybe it's like feeling the presence of someone hiding in a dark room. A different way of experiencing their world. An extra sense that we don't have. And for sharks and rays, an extra edge for finding their prey.
It is common to find scars and scratches from struggling prey. Great whites can protect their eyes by rolling their eyes back, therefore preventing the most vital part of their eye from being hurt. Habitat. Adapted to living in a grand range of aquatic habitats at various temperatures. Great white sharks enjoy coastal areas from all around Earth, but they typically live just outside of shore waters. Sometimes they go into deep ocean, even found in depths of 100 meters. They prefer warm temperature, roughly around 15 Celsius to 24 Celsius. Sharks tend to eat efficiently, going after the old, sick, slow creatures in a population that they prey on, keeping said population healthier with biodiversity by preventing the outbreak of disease.
Humans are attacked by white sharks as a result of mistaken identity. I mean, we do our very best to look like white shark food. It's amazing to me that more humans aren't bitten. Most often, the victim is wearing a black wetsuit. If you're on a short surfboard with your legs and hands dangling from the side of the surfboard, the shark's looking up in our green coastal water and seeing what looks like an elephant seal swimming overhead, of course it might mistake you for an elephant seal.
The great white shark is the largest predatory fish in the ocean. They can grow up to 20 feet long and weigh as much as 5,000 pounds. Highly adapted ambush hunters, they have a well-developed sense of smell, keen eyesight, an exceptional electrosensitive detection apparatus, and a famous jawline that contains as many as 300 very sharp serrated teeth.
They can't chase down a seal or sea lion. A seal or sea lion is much more maneuverable, much faster swimmer than a white shark. So what they do is they mug their victim. They're swimming at 15, 20 feet underwater, looking up, trying to see the silhouette of a single seal or sea lion, and then from behind they'll rush up and then try and bite it with one massive bite at the surface before the animal escapes.
Diet. They usually immobilize prey with a large bite and wait for prey to. If the prey is too big to just bite and swallow, they attack their prey from above. They attack their prey from above, behind, or below to avoid being detected with echolocation. This is use of sound waves and echoes to determine objects in space.
When a shark is pregnant, their newly hatched sharks feed on the other eggs inside the womb.
Unlike fish, which produce large amounts of eggs, most of which never reach maturity, sharks produce far fewer but larger offspring, and they have a much better chance of reaching adulthood. Sharks can reproduce in several ways. Many small sharks, like the horn shark, the swell shark, and cat sharks, actually lay eggs on the bottom. The baby shark develops in there, living off a yolk sac filled with nutrients. The baby, a miniature version of its parents, is born after a few months to a year of gestation, depending on the water temperature and the species. Sharks using this reproductive strategy are called oviparous, meaning egg-laying. Other sharks are viviparous. They give birth to live young which develop inside the mother shark, receiving nutrients and oxygen from mom through an umbilical cord, just like humans. Larger sharks like blue sharks, bull sharks, and hammerheads use this technique. The last group of sharks are ovoviviparous, also known as aplacental yolk sac viviparous. In this system, the mother produces eggs like the oviparous system, but instead of laying her eggs on the bottom, she carries them inside her body until they hatch. When the babies pop out, you might think the shark was viviparous, but the babies had no umbilical cord inside, they lived off a yolk sac. In the weird category, the sand tiger shark has a strange variation on its ovoviviparous reproduction known as intrauterine cannibalism. The mother produces up to 50 pups in each of 2 uteruses, but the first baby in each uterus that reaches about 4 inches long eats all of its siblings. After 12 months of gestation, the mother then gives birth to a pair of 3-foot-long pups that are well fed. Because sharks put so much more time, effort, and energy into producing a viable offspring than bony fish do, they give birth to far fewer pups. A whale shark produces the most pups of any shark, around 300 at a time. But then again, mom is the size of a bus. The thresher and sand tiger only produce 2 pups at a time. The blue shark can produce 135 at a time, which is a lot for a shark not the size of a bus. Gestation is long too, averaging 9 to 12 months. Baby spiny dogfish take 22 months, almost 2 years, for their young to develop. Most sharks take quite a while to become mature enough to reproduce as well. Great hammerheads take 9 years. Lemon and bull sharks take 15 years. Spiny dogfish, 20 years.
So between the small litters, a long gestation period, and a long time to reach maturity, sharks just don't reproduce very quickly. And this is the reason they're so vulnerable to overfishing.
Human interactions.
One of the biggest threats to sharks are humans. They are preyed and hunted upon.
For the shark, they find us interesting and think we might be a food source and might mistake us as a seal from below. But usually, after the first bite, they retreat because they don't find us appetizing due to us having too many bones and that they prefer fatty animals.